Get ready to witness a boxing event that defies all conventions. A clash where the old guard meets the new wave under a set of rules crafted to level the battlefield. Imagine Mike Tyson, the indomitable force who once reigned as the youngest heavyweight champion in history, stepping back into the ring at 58 years old. Across from him stands Jake Paul, a 27-year-old YouTube sensation turned professional boxer, eager to carve his name into the annals of boxing history by taking on a living legend. What's making headlines isn't just the fighters, it's the unprecedented rules that will govern their bout. Unlike typical bouts, this fight has been carefully structured to balance Tyson's legendary experience with Paul's youthful energy, setting the stage for an encounter that breaks traditional boundaries. These custom rules aren't just technicalities, they redefine how the fight will unfold, making it unpredictable and full of suspense. With never-before-seen conditions in place, this showdown promises an experience unlike any in boxing history, a fusion of classic power with modern spectacle. Stick around, because we're about to dive into the details of these intriguing changes and how they'll shape every round in the ring. The upcoming boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has garnered significant attention, not only due to the fighters' contrasting backgrounds, but also because of the unique rules set for the bout. These modifications aim to balance the competition, considering Tyson's age and Paul's relative inexperience. These rule changes aren't just minor tweaks, they're a calculated strategy to make this matchup as thrilling as it is balanced. With Mike Tyson's age and Jake Paul's relative inexperience, the changes aim to create a fair battleground, where Tyson's raw power meets Paul's modern athleticism head-on. Boxing purists might question the need for adjustments, but the truth is, these modifications are what elevate this fight from a typical match to an epic showdown. The rules open up new dynamics, allowing both fighters to play to their strengths without the limitations of traditional standards. It's a fresh twist that forces both sides to rethink their strategies, making every round unpredictable. These aren't just concessions to age or skill. They're designed to push each fighter to his limits in ways we've never seen before, and that's exactly what makes this fight one for the ages. Traditionally, professional boxing matches consist of 12 3-minute rounds. However, for this fight, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation has approved a format of 8 2-minute rounds. This adjustment is designed to accommodate Tyson, who, at 58, may benefit from shorter rounds that reduce prolonged exertion. Conversely, the reduced round length could also influence Paul's strategy, as he might have less time per round to implement his game plan. In standard professional heavyweight boxing, fighters typically wear 10-ounce gloves. For this match, both Tyson and Paul will don 14-ounce gloves. The increased weight provides additional padding, which can decrease the impact of punches, potentially reducing the risk of injury. This change is particularly pertinent given Tyson's age, offering an extra layer of protection. However, the heavier gloves may also affect the fighter's speed and punching power, factors both will need to consider in their strategies. Despite the adjustments in round duration and glove weight, the fight will proceed without headgear, aligning with standard professional boxing practices. Knockouts are permitted, and the bout's outcome will be recorded on both fighters' professional records. This decision underscores the match's legitimacy as a professional contest, despite the other rule modifications. The fight will be officiated by 3 ringside judges who will score each round. In the event that the match goes the distance without a knockout, these scores will determine the winner. This standard scoring system ensures that, even with the unique rules, the fight maintains the integrity of professional boxing competitions. Both fighters are expected to compete in the heavyweight division. Jake Paul, who has previously fought at cruiserweight, is anticipated to weigh in around 220 pounds, while Mike Tyson is expected to be approximately 15 pounds heavier. This weight difference is within acceptable limits for the heavyweight category and will be a factor both fighters consider in their preparations and strategies. In a departure from traditional pay-per-view models, the fight will be streamed live on Netflix. This marks Netflix's first venture into live sports broadcasting, making the event accessible to a broader audience with a subscription. The platform's global reach could significantly increase viewership, bringing the fight to fans who might not typically purchase pay-per-view events. The unique rules have led to varied responses from different state athletic commissions. For instance, New York and several other states have opted not to permit betting on the fight, citing deviations from standard boxing regulations, such as the shorter rounds and heavier gloves. These decisions highlight the complexities involved in sanctioning a bout that blends traditional professional boxing elements with modifications tailored to the participants' circumstances. For Mike Tyson, these rule adjustments offer a framework that considers his age, potentially reducing the physical toll of the fight. The shorter rounds and increased glove padding may help mitigate injury risks, allowing him to compete more safely. For Jake Paul, the changes present both challenges and opportunities. The heavier gloves and shorter rounds could affect his usual fighting rhythm and strategy, requiring adaptations in his approach. With these unique rules in play, it's clear that each adjustment has the potential to tip the scales in favor of one fighter or level the field in unexpected ways. The shorter 2-minute rounds could give Tyson an advantage by reducing the strain on his endurance, allowing him to unleash his powerful, explosive attacks without as much worry about fatigue over time. However, the heavier 14-ounce gloves add a twist, slightly muting Tyson's power while giving Paul an edge and minimizing the impact of Tyson's punches. For Paul, this could be his chance to extend the fight and test Tyson's stamina, capitalizing on his younger body's ability to withstand and recover from prolonged bouts. But with the absence of headgear and the possibility of knockouts, both fighters are set for a high-stakes encounter where Paul will need to stay sharp, avoid Tyson's heavy blows, and use the modified pacing to strategically wear him down. In the end, these rule adjustments will keep both fighters in constant check, making every round a carefully measured battle where experience and youth collide with intensity. For fans, these unique rules add a layer of excitement, but they also spark debate about who ultimately benefits from the adjustments. Many Tyson fans may feel the rules favor the legendary fighter, giving him shorter rounds and heavier gloves that cater to his explosive power without pushing his endurance to the limits. For them, it's a way to see Iron Mike back in action without the restrictions of age dictating his performance too harshly. On the other hand, Jake Paul's followers might argue that the rule changes even the playing field, allowing their younger fighter to capitalize on his stamina and ability to keep up a high pace. The boxing community and fans have expressed mixed reactions to these rule changes. Some appreciate the efforts to create a fair and safe environment for both fighters, considering their differing ages and experience levels. Others argue that the modifications could impact the fight's authenticity and competitiveness. This debate reflects broader discussions about how to balance safety, fairness, and entertainment in combat sports. Boxing professionals have met these rule changes with a mix of intrigue and skepticism. For the purists, any modification to traditional boxing rules is seen as controversial, with some questioning whether this fight stays true to the competitive spirit of the sport. They argue that boxing should be a battle of endurance as much as skill, and shorter rounds might detract from the mental and physical toughness usually demanded in a full-length bout. Many believe that these adjustments, particularly the heavier gloves and reduced round time, lean toward favoring Tyson, allowing him to capitalize on power rather than endurance. However, there are also seasoned professionals who view the rule changes as a fair and creative approach to leveling the fight. They point out that Tyson's age and Paul's inexperience create a unique matchup where standard rules might actually disadvantage one fighter unnecessarily. By tweaking the format, both fighters are set up to perform at their best without compromising safety or entertainment value. For these analysts, the modified rules highlight a willingness to adapt and experiment within the sport, keeping it relevant for a broader audience. In the end, boxing experts remain divided. Some feel these changes dilute the sport's traditional demands, while others see it as an evolution, a way to create a balanced and engaging experience that respects Tyson's legendary status while still challenging Paul. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight stands out not only for its intriguing matchup, but also for the distinctive rules governing the bout. These adjustments aim to ensure a competitive and safe contest, reflecting the unique circumstances of the fighters involved. As the fight approaches, both athletes will need to tailor their preparations to these conditions, setting the stage for a compelling event.